Hey, yeah. Hey, bro? What are you drinking? don't come with your gin, don't come with your gin and juice business again.
Sorry, man. Start the show properly.
Yeah. Live from Dubai, we start saying, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down and welcome everybody to The Fight Is Right. Who will train Anthony Joshua in the rematch? Tunde is in nice sunny Dubai where he's got a camp, he's got a holiday camp, but they're training him and Anthony Yard. We'll speak about that later on. They're doing their bits in sunny Dubai. But I've noticed, Tunde, since you've been out in Dubai, it seems like you're getting darker. You got suntan.
Black tan, fam.
Well, Tunde, be careful because there's a lot of Nigerians in Dubai right now. So when you're trying to come back, customs might not make you come back because someone could be using your passport, my friend.
I'm gonna say I'm Jamaican.
Yeah, what a Jamaican patty.
Yeah, it's all good at it. No, but there's a lot of Nigerians out here, you know.
There's loads. Nigerians are everywhere too.
Yeah. There's better Nigerians, but they're doing cleaning job. Better cleaning job. But like, yes sir. Do you want help? Or lifeguard, bro? Better lifeguards, you know. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to be doing your 419. Nah, but it's cool. We're enjoying ourselves. We're training hard, and obviously there's got to be a balance, you know. And the balance is, you know, as soon as we have to just let our heart down. As soon as we come back, it's straight back to work. Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to the show.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm looking forward to the show. I'm looking forward to hearing, you know, what the people are thinking. You know, Anthony Joshua, I think he's returned back now from Dubai. He's no longer in Dubai because I know he was out there with Lawrence Okoli. Lawrence Okoli's back in the UK now. He's got to fight. I think it's the 27th of March. I think he's fighting.
February?
Or Feb, yeah. He's defended his title. So I'm looking forward to seeing Lawrence back in action. And I'm looking for this breaking news on Anthony Joshua.
I'll tell you something. Malcolm Marcel says AJ isn't leaving Rob.
Well, I don't think you saw the tweet by Michael Benson. What Joshua said in an interview that it's time for him to move on and try different things with a new trainer. So
who said that?
AJ.
Okay.
So Malcolm's my guy. He's always defending the Fight Is Right. You, me, everyone. Malcolm's my guy. But seriously, he's gonna leave Robert. Told you it's old news. He's leaving.
Interesting. Well, listen, there's a few names in the hat there, namely Ronnie Shields, namely Robert Garcia, namely Virgil Hunter, namely what's that brother who look like he's from Frontline Peckham?
Chill Wilson.
Chill, bro. I can see him down Frontline, bro. Peckham.
Nah,
I didn't know who his name was. I'm not that. I'm just, bro. He just like one of them man I see down Frontline. But Chill Wilson, yeah, that's his name. I don't really know too much about him.
You know what? When I was out doing, what fight was it? Yeah, it was Carl Frampton's unsuccessful challenge against Jamal Heron for the WBO Super Featherweight title. I met Chill Wilson when I was out there. Like, you know what I mean? And nice guy. Knows his boxing, knows boxing history as well. We had a really good chat. And he was doing little bits. He did some work with Badu Jack in the past. He did some work with the British heavyweight champion now, Dan Aziz. Because Dan Aziz went out to Dubai because he lives out in Dubai, his brother. But he used to. So he's been around the game for a little while.
Stop
Before
right
camp.
there. Stop right there. Hold tight, calm and serene. Good evening, my brothers. Much love to you too. $49.99. Hey,
Thank you so much, my sister from another mister. You know what I mean? She start the thing. Now you set the bar now. So I don't want to see no £1.99 business start come up on the street. We are going to church.
Put your pause in them collection. The collection that's
We
coming around.
need that collection blade.
65 people on live. Please press the like, the subscribe button. What's the time over there, Spence? Because it's past midnight here now. It's
Yeah. I know it's like, what was it? It's 4 hours difference. So yeah, we're 10 past. We're 10 past 8 now. Come on, 10 past 8.
Okay.
Coming up 10 past 8, and it's time to get great. I would say so. Chill was doing some work with him, with Anthony Joshua. He was doing some pad work with Anthony. He was doing some pad work with Ross Coley, and he was doing some pad work with Chris Eubank Jr. Where Chris Eubank Jr. was trying like 50 left hooks on the pads. So I've noticed that these guys are out there doing bits.
Better throw 50 left hooks against Liam Williams. I don't hear nothing.
Boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but that's an interesting fight. Both guys. I mean, I guess the thinking is that Liam's coming off of a loss against a very good fighter in Boo Boo, and he's there for the taking. But Liam is a good fighter. Liam's a good fighter, and
he's a good fighter. And he's a good fighter. And he's strong, but even though Eubank Jr. has not really shown us what he is really meant to be about. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's seemingly like he is more sizzle than steak.
Stop right there. More, the Snapchat thing. We can't mess about with the Snapchat thing. Old tight Coyote Olajide. Does AJ need to employ a Kronk style coach to beat Usyk? But yeah, let's answer that before.
Yeah, I'd say the reason why they say Kronk style coach is because the Kronk style is renowned for being aggressive based, even when they're boxing slick. They're boxing slick, but they're boxing to clap you out, bro. So,
but can I just say something? No one were chatting no Kronk style business before Fury just come and relight the thing. It's all of a sudden. No. No one were talking about Kronk style. It's just recent that this thing has emerged. In terms of, obviously, you had Lennox, and Lennox was very successful. Then you had Klitschko with Vladimir. But hold on, but AJ beat Klitschko. And Klitschko was using the Kronk thing.
Well, as much as he was, because he was trained by Jonathan Banks.
Who? Yeah,
Klitschko.
exactly.
Right.
So the point is, we're just to say, AJ beat the Kronk style when he was with Robert McCracken.
He did.
Yeah. So listen.
But may I reiterate?
Drinking your gin and juice.
Klitschko's older than my granny, Tunde. So
now don't disrespect Klitschko like that.
We're talking about.
It
All
was
right,
still...
this is the next thing. This is the next thing. Did Tyson Fury have an easier fight versus Klitschko than Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, but I guess that's the style.
No. That's what I'm saying to you, right? Yeah. And that was a fresher Klitschko than the one that Anthony Joshua boxed.
Well, one could argue that Klitschko had more experience under the belt when he fought AJ. More know-how.
More experience on how to lose. He just lost his last fight, which was like 18 months prior, was a loss. So I'm just saying how it is, mate.
Yeah, but it was a loss, but he can learn from the loss, Spence.
No. What did he learn from the loss?
I'm just saying he can learn from the loss and learn how to lose. Remember, he never had a chin, yeah? And he said he said, all right, cool, I haven't got a chin. I got to learn how to not get hit on the chin.
Yeah, But that wasn't before. That wasn't before the Tyson Fury fight. That wasn't after the Tyson Fury fight. He was saying that. He was saying that way before. Yes. When Lamont Brewster clapped him out.
Facts.
And that was a horrible clap out that he got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or they're like, but prior to that, when Corey Sanders clapped him out. Corey Sanders. When Corey Sanders clapped him out, that was a serious clap out.
I was watching that.
That was a serious clap out. Serious clap out. So, you know, I'm not knocking anything of Anthony Joshua's accomplishments because his accomplishments actually speak for themselves. But what I am saying is, and going back to this Kronk style, when people say, "Oh, well, to go back to Kronk style," it's true what Tunde is saying. Is like the Kronk style, even though it has been aggressive based, it was more to the time where Emmanuel Stewart has to tell man, "Listen, brother, we got to clap at this dude now. What you doing?
Come on,
right?
Come on."
And I saw that many times. I saw that David Haye versus Vladimir Klitschko. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Stewart went wicked on Klitschko to say, listen, man, start stepping it up now because we could be buying on points here, right?
Yes.
Even though there wasn't, but I could understand, especially after seeing, and this is no disrespect to David Haye and his accomplishments, right? Watch David Haye versus Valuev, right? Evander Holyfield did an old Evander Holyfield, right? In, what was that? 2008. December of 2008, I think it was December 19th or 20th of 2008, did a better job versus Valuev than David Haye did, but never got the decision. If you don't believe me, go and watch the fight.
Come on, the knowledge.
So what I'm saying is David Haye was fortunate to become the WBA heavyweight champion.
But it did wobble him.
In the last round, that was a vicious wobble. And Brock up his hand as well.
But listen, and see, 84 Boxing said, see, before that, it was Freddie Roach for the front foot aggressive style. So there's always, a person who's hot for the minute or a style that's hot for the minute. But really, it's who the fighter's best suited to. You know, it's not okay. I don't like the way when fighters lose, then all of a sudden they just got to change everything. I think with it, maybe what it is with AJ is that he's lost twice now. He had himself admittedly said that the first fight, he didn't do things right, and he adjusted in the rematch. And he said this fight hurt the most. So both times he's actually pointed to himself. But and
I respect him for that, Tunde.
But there has to be a change of trainer. I don't get that.
Well, I think I get it. And I'm going to tell you why. Tunde?
Come on. Yeah.
You've been a trainer of a world-ranked #1 contender.
Yes.
You know, when you're bringing man in your camp, yeah? You have to bring in somebody more knowledgeable than you. So what's the point of having him in your camp then? If you're bringing in a man, what you give was YTS scheme? You're just giving out jobs.
Remember YTS?
YTS was serious, bro.
Bro, man used to take the cash and don't
£127 a month, bro. Right? So ask yourself, why would Rob listen? Listen? Say what you want to say about Shane McGugan. Shane McGugan told it the realest talk. He said, listen, them man tried to approach me. I said, listen, it's either my way of training or the highway. You can't be bringing in the next 27 man with you and blah, 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 blah. You either come into my camp and work in my system or forget about it. But when you're in a camp, you've got a camp. And this is why I'll tell you, these men, they're very sneaky because they try to keep the money to themselves. I'm speaking how it is. No one can't do me nothing. I'm telling you how it is. When AJ lost to Ruiz, he was scratching his head saying, well, he's got to make fundamental changes, right? So you got Joby Clayton in, right? And you also got Angel Fernandez in, right? I don't know these man's resume in boxing, let alone heavyweight boxing, right? So you brought these men in. Where is the affinity? There's no affinity. Can that man sit down and really tell you, listen, Virgil, what if we got to suck this up, you know? Can they relate to you on those levels? I heard in the Usyk fight, because I was there ringside, me and my beautiful wife, I'm hearing when AJ getting punched in his face, I'm hearing man shout out, beautiful AJ, beautiful. What kind of foolishness is that? Right. And listen, and like I said, I know business, because I'm just speaking my mind. Those guys could be really, really nice people. I don't know them. Right? I'm just speaking my mind on what I witnessed and see. When you're bringing people into your camp, you better be bringing in people that are going to be adding something more to the mix, not just appealing to your ego.
Yeah, I think AJ's. I'll be honest with you. As I said, I don't. You know me, Spence. I don't really focus too much on people that is not my business. But I like, you know, I do like listening to Anthony talk at times, and I just think that with Anthony Joshua, that is, I just think that it's just a mental works that need to be done on him. It's not so much, and maybe that is down to the right coach mentally, because he's very, to me, he appears very mentally stable. But as you alluded to last week, it seems like he's a bit in no man's land at the moment.
He's not. I agree.
Yeah, I think that it's not. I think it's just It's self. I just think he just needs to work on himself. I don't necessarily feel that he needed to change the environment. I don't. I'm always gonna believe that, because it's about the individuals around you or him taking individual blame and responsibility and fixing up.
Very good. And what I'm saying is this, Tunde, right? When Lennox Lewis famously got knocked out by Oliver McCall, what was that, 94? Emmanuel Stewart was training with Oliver McCall. Pepe Correa was working in Lennox Lewis's corner.
Yes.
And it was time for Pepe Correa to go. Right?
Yes.
And who did he employ? He employed the man that trained the man to beat him. So he started to work with Emmanuel Stewart. And then when he did, that's when his style evolved.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes you have to make the changes to make yourself evolve, because by Lennox Lewis's own admission, he said Pepe Correa was more of a cheerleader than a trainer.
Okay, right? Hold on. Next £2 cola. Let me just read that comment. Coyote. Sorry. Floyd told AJ amateur trainer won't do for the pros. I don't know. Listen, Floyd's Floyd. You know, Floyd's Floyd.
Well, listen. Even though Floyd's saying that, but Lennox Lewis said the same thing.
But listen, again, you know me, Spence. I don't like the way people just jump on a man when things go wrong, as though life isn't littered with ups and downs. Everybody, the thing is that these young men are in the spotlight.
1,000,000%.
Everything they do is always assessed
and
brutally,
over amplified.
And this is where the individual in this particular situation, Anthony Joshua, I think he just needs to lock himself in a room and make his own thing, do his own decision, make his own decisions. And it's like
it's very difficult when you're at that level, because right. And also, and I remember saying this when he lost to Ruiz, that he should have more boxing people around him, right?
Yes.
And he has got more boxing people around him, but unfortunately, watch the difference in comparison.
Hold on. Hold your foot there, sir.
Punch drunk. Salute, my brother.
$9.99. You lot still ain't beating Karma Serene though, so you gotta step up the thing and give us some more Snapchat money. But anyway, old type punch here with the collection. He said one thing for sure: AJ adjusts with no excuses. He takes full accountability and responsibility. So the transition to go back to the drawing board and dial in and properly adjust 3-time heavyweight bout. I like that. I like that. And as I
You know
said,
what I mean?
when I was listening to AJ today, he does sound very, he sound focused and calm and but yeah, carry on the discussion, Spence.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, when and I was saying like he should be surrounded with more boxing people. He
Yes.
did that. Don't think they don't listen. They listen. He did that. He surrounded himself with more boxing people. But unfortunately, you're heavyweight champion of the world. So, or former heavyweight champion of the world at the time when it happened, right? And then you became heavyweight champion again, right? When you're getting boxing people around you, they're boxing people, but they're gassed to be around you. You don't need those men around you who are gassed to be around you.
So
You know what I
then,
mean?
so then you think you should get old heads in?
I believe so. I just think like he needs like a couple old heads who can tell him the unpleasant truth instead of sugar-coated bullshit.
Yeah, it's like I give you a joke. Yeah, we was in the changing room. Yeah, for the Arthur fight. Yeah, I see James Cook. James was giving me joke. Cause I was like, bro, what's the matter with this brother? Like James is all bending up the gloves. You know when you bend the gloves, he's bending up the gloves in shape. He's pacing up and down. I'm saying, bro, relax. In my head, I'm saying, relax yourself, James. And then Anthony went on the pads with Addy, yeah? And bro, Anthony licked Addy with the pads. Addy flew across the other side of the room, bro. And this is James. This is James. Yo, stop that. We need him. It's like, we need him. Stop it, Anthony, stop it. But so yeah, I agree with you, bro. I would agree with you that
That's what I'm saying.
You need a calm older head who has seen things.
You do. You just need a calm older head who's just gonna drop certain gems. You know what I mean? And certain times those gems are unpolished, and it's for you to unpolish them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that is it. And I'm not turning around and fighting out AJ. I think he's been an incredible ambassador for the sport of boxing globally. The eyeballs that he has managed to bring on the sport. But I just think like when you're at that level,
yes,
you know what I mean? When you're plateauing, that plateau is only gonna go one way. Now it's very rare. It's very rare. I'm only going by history now. It's very rare when a man will take those L's and then come back and be better than what he was. Now, when we look at the heavyweight division, there's a couple men that have lost but have come back better. Couple men. You know what I mean? More so, Evander Holyfield lost but he came back better. Right? Lennox Lewis lost and he came back better. But when we see that or we listen to that, then you say, then what was it in that the man did? Because I know Evander Holyfield, when he got rid of the Duvas, you know what I mean? He then employed Don Turner. Don Turner was in Larry Holmes' corner when Holyfield beat Larry Holmes. Remember when Larry Holmes went back at the end of the 12th round and he puked because he pushed himself so hard at the end of the round that he walked back to the corner at the end of the fight and he vomited. That's serious. So he was saying, "Right, I need some of these old tricksters around me, so I can pick up something." Lennox Lewis did the same thing. Right, you know what? I'm gonna go to the man that trained the man to beat me. You know what I mean? So
and it works for him.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So when we look at history, very rare in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight boxing is an oxymoron to itself, too. Right? So when we look at heavyweight history, which man them have lost, but come back better.
Before you go further, big up Off the Canvas Boxing.
Come on, man.
Big
Salute
up,
our brother.
lads. Big up, lads. If AJ wants to be known as a throwback fighter, why doesn't he associate himself with throwback trainers and throwback fighters? I don't know. Again, listen. Comments. Everybody has opinions and stuff like that. I always just put it down to the person's individual mental toughness. It's all because it's them. At the end of the day, your trainer is mentally tough. The people, but you have to be mentally tough. And so, boxing is a journey. It's a career, and AJ has been blessed enough to see the heights of this. All of us are sitting here looking from a certain parapet, a certain level. None of us know what it's like to be in his shoes and have to make his choices. We're just giving, our opinions on this thing here. So, but when all said and done, it's down to AJ. That's why I say, for me, it's about AJ. It's about his own mental toughness. And yes, you're right, Spencer. Imagine man like you, me, all we are around him. We are giving him advice, and he's hearing these things, what we're saying. You get what I'm saying? Because he's got family members that told me that he hears what we're saying. So we're always supporting him. We're always wanting the best for him. But, fortunately, unfortunately, he's in a position where everybody's going to critique him. And everybody thinks...
Of course he is. But listen, like I said, right
Hold
now...
on! 25 pound there.
Eddy, God bless you, sir. God bless you.
Eddy, my brother. Yes, sir. Let me see what Eddy has to say. Eddy, Mr. Boxing Talk himself, I believe that is.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, he said, good Saturday night listening, people. AJ Usyk is rumored for April. Is that enough time for a new trainer to implement his own ideas, considering AJ has been with Rob for years? Won't he just revert to type? Perfect. Remember, what's that game where you say perfect? what game is that, Spence? Some kung fu game. Where you say perfect. I think it's bro, I forgot that game there. Anyway, but it's facts.
Look, number one is this. Let me just big up Eddy, because Eddy's a real one. I got nothing but love and respect for that, brother.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I like when people get their bus, but they remember the people that were there and paved ways to them. So Eddy's my guy. But listen to me, Ton. I'm just telling you this now, yeah?
No, wait. Let me just say what I was going to say.
Go on, continue. Please. Sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What I would say is it ain't necessarily gonna be time for the new trainer to implement his ideas, but just like Spencer daily gets messages from people on Insta, on the roads, that just one word that Spencer has said to them has inspired them and given them new energy. So is the same for somebody positive that comes around your circle and says something to you. It may be AJ. That was you see, I just want you to bust that move again. Or a little, bro, you know what I'm about to say? Bro, I was watching a video with Devin Haney. I know Devin Haney's hype, man. Bro, I'm going to send you the video because I said it in my group. Bro, Devin done a double jump right hand, and this chairman, he clapped about 35 times in 2 seconds. Here's that.
Right.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
So this what I'm trying to say, Ton. This what I'm trying to say. What we're saying about is it the right time? Right. Look, Oleksandr Wilson, come on. You know
come on, big up Alexander. Alexander
he said, Anthony Chill Wilson is from my hometown, Washington, D.C. Big up Washington, D.C. in the house. I remember him losing to Carlos Navarro in the amateurs, who also beat Floyd. Throwback. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
big up. But big up Alexander Wilson. But we're dealing with a 25-pound question first. Please,
right. Of course, because we can't leave out Eddy, because Eddy's our guy, man. You know what I mean? Right? Flick it back to Eddy's question, Ton, right? Yeah. Or Gary, yes. Thank you, right? So I'm saying this now. This is what I'm saying is this, right? It's not the fact that, he's working with a new trainer, he's going to think, okay, and then we're going on. Listen, I'm telling you now, it usually takes 4 to 5 fights for somebody to properly adjust with a new trainer. I'm only speaking about heavyweight boxing right now. Not talking about no other weight division. Talking about heavyweight boxing. When man change up trainer, like the Tunde when he's getting that credit card thing from the Adidas store to get more trainers, right? When man changing up the things so regular, Anthony Joshua hasn't done that. But what I'm saying is Anthony Joshua only got one career, right? So he's got to make. So I think mentally he kind of left Robert McCracken a long time ago. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, and I'm saying again, When he went to America, did he bring Rob McCracken with him? No, he went with Angel Fernandez. Right?
Can I just say, Anthony Yard has paid for me to come out to here to train him.
Right.
So that's you understand? He ain't over here doing pads with bare man.
All right.
Because that will get, I knows I am anyway, that will get me mad.
Tunde,
if I see my fighter doing pads with next man,
that sucks out your energy, Tunde.
This pads thing is a spiritual thing.
Wait, stop. Tunde, I said the same thing on the IFL interview the other day, right? Now, people who know boxing know when you're licking pads with a man, yeah? And a man's focused and he's looking in your eyes. And certain time, a man don't even need to call the shot, but just the simple positioning of his hand, you know what shot to throw. And you know what the position, and you know if you could throw it 3 or 4 times.
Yes, sir.
Enough men don't know this thing, right? Yeah. So when we're talking this thing now,
and I'm talking to fighters.
So we're giving it too much knowledge to these people because when you're telling this thing to these men,
I'm gonna say, I say to fighters, you're not supposed to just be going out to all different gyms and doing pads with a next trainer. That's disrespect. That's bro. Anyway, you can't do that with me. I'm not having that. I'm just being honest. I'm not having that. That's total disrespect. That's total disrespect. Because I'm there training you. I'm there. I've given my time as well. Let's not get that wrong. I was telling a coach I met the other day. I'm saying, hold on. I'm giving my time, my energy, 7 days a week. And then you're going over to the next country and giving Johnny come lately pads. No, brother. You know what you do? Take yourself and stay there. Don't come back to me.
How'd you like that, sunshine?
Anyway, see, you're getting me hype on this thing.
No,
anyway,
it's good. We have to get hyped. So this what I'm saying is this.
Disrespect.
Right? Of course, a massive disrespect. But this what I'm saying is this. So I believe that it's more to the comfortability. You know, when you can just link a person, it's like you can just gel with them. You know what I mean? You know, you can buck a certain girl, you're talking to this girl, and you say, right, it's like I've known you for years.
Hold on, this brother Trey, just block his ass. Gary, I beg you block him. I'm even giving no energy. Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Right? So I'm saying it depends on AJ's mindset and his mental aptitude, not the mental aptitude of him, but also the mental aptitude of everybody else who's in the camp, that they've all got to be singing from the same hymn sheet. Right?
Yes. Yeah,
right? Because I could tell you this now. You listen to certain gospel music songs, right? And then you go and you hear there's a rock version of it, there's an R&B version of it, there's a calypso version of it. You hear all different versions of it, but there's only the one real version that you give it ratings. So everyone's got to be singing off the same hymn sheet, and everybody has to have that synchronized timing. And synchronized timing is not just a physical thing, but is a mental and a spiritual thing. When you're in there, you just know. So depending on who he chooses, is how he gels with that person. Because what I do know for Anthony Joshua is there is a lot of pressure on him. And you know what it goes is this. As soon as you move on from a next man who you used to work with, the people or the fans of that trainer are praying for your downfall.
But
you don't
again,
believe
that's
me?
why you got to stay focused. That's why you got to stay focused.
You got to stay focused.
And AJ, and he's doing the right thing now because listen, he's on the search for that thing. What I said about fighters going over and doing pads with everything, that doesn't apply to AJ because he's looking for a new trainer. So he has to get the vibe of the people that he eventually is gonna. It's like buying a house.
I hear you.
But he was doing it before.
Yeah, okay. But what I'm saying to say is this now, Tom. Yeah. Even though you're doing it, yeah. How many times me and you been in Floyd's camp from way back in the day when no one were even going in Vegas, and me was in Floyd's camp? What happens when it's time for sparring? Any phone, any piece of filming, you'll get broke up and your phone
them big off man, them big off security guys are like phones, mobiles off.
Thank you. Right. Now, this is what I'm trying to say is this. The disrespect is the fact that man's filming your stuff.
Yeah. I don't
like that. Because if I know
man call them pad slags. Pad slags. Go on. Old type Bobby
Wright.
Wright. Hold on. This show, man, the man's coming with a Snapchat thing serious tonight. Hold on. Old type Bobby Wright. Come on. I'm at the family party tonight, but we'll catch up tomorrow with the big bosses. But he says, big up the bosses. Thank you. And this is loyalty. When a man is at a family do, still dash down to $17.99 and get some party and said, you know what, we'll watch the thing tomorrow. Lovely.
And you know what? And also, thank God
Appreciate
to Bobby Wright that he had a bout of COVID and he's come out successful on the other side so much that he's out partying. So happy New Year to you, Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, but bro, you know what? It's so we've been going 35 and we haven't even touched on the trainer. We haven't even touched on the topic yet, bro.
No worry, bro. We'll come back to that.
We haven't even broke down the trainers, but hold tight, Naz. Thank you, brother. Naz says, Salam, brothers, amazing show. I think someone like Adam Booth would be perfect for AJ, sharp shooter style. Also, he shouldn't take Usyk next. All right, before we do that, carry on what you were saying, Spence.
No. I got to address that. You know what? I work with Adam Booth, and I'm saying, do I rate Adam Booth as a trainer? I rate him as a great psychologist. Seriously. He's not really telling you nothing, but he's telling you loads in what he's not telling you. Because one thing about Adam Booth, he knows how to train a man, how to steal rounds. He knows to steal rounds because he knows, he works on the system. His metric system of what he works on is 3 to 4 punches to impress the judges, back on your jab, then throw them shots again to stamp your authority. You know what I mean? So the brother there, Naz, he could have a point there. He could have a point.
Skyliner, he got a point. Skyliner Schumer says Adam Booth is like 5'2". I was gonna take punches from AJ, bro. And you see how small Emmanuel Stewart was. So that's nonsense.
Listen.
So the height thing. And listen, there's so many different variations that can benefit a fighter. But I've always just put it down to the mental aspect and where the fighter feels most comfortable. So again, you got to credit AJ because he's actually done a big thing. Hold on, I'm gonna hold that point there. Hallelujah.
Praise God.
Love you, Jesus. That tune, Spencer. Bro, that tune's getting better play. I love you, Jesus.
That tune's big. That tune's big.
Bro,
I'm trying to find it.
Airplay. Anyway, I'm not even singing it. Bro, go give me some peace for big up on the fight as well. But anyway, old type Gary Chain, $44.99. He says, evening, gents. NGL, I'm worried about AJ after his latest interview. He said he needs to win 4 more rounds to win the rematch. Crazy to try outbox Usyk again. He needs to come in on the smoke and let his hands go this time. Win by KO, not try to outbox Usyk.
You know what? I agree with you, but what I'm trying to say is he could stamp his authority so much on Usyk, that he wins by 4 rounds and don't knock him out, but just bashes him. You know what I mean? Just bashes him. Just every time that Usyk makes that move from his southpaw stance, you know what I mean? To try and allow Bernard Hopkins to keep your left leg on the inside and not on the outside, to keep it on the inside and clap man with straight right hands and left hook.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I want you to lie to me, Tunde.
No. Yeah, you always say that. You've been saying that since we were young. But we're still young, and we're just a bit more wiser. But I'll be honest with you. I don't need to be in AJ's corner, but I'll tell him straight. This fight here, if you're gonna rematch this brother, just train for a knockout. That's it. Don't even put this. You don't need to think about boxing because you're a boxer. Bro, exactly. Nonsense. All these, bro, I keep telling you, bro, man, just overcomplicating this thing here. You got the attitude.
I've noticed that boxing has become more complicated the more trainers have come into the sport.
Bro, it's nonsense.
If you just pivot 34 degrees over to the right, Then as you
Bruv. Yeah. You know that, innit? 3.2 degrees to the left and throw the uppercut. No, brother. Just throw the uppercut, the right uppercut, the left hook, the right and the uppercut again. You know AJ can do that. He's got that, fam. So it's a hype. The energy's got to be there. So whoever he brings in, they got to be coming with energy.
Yeah.
Because everything is energy. That's what he
Everything
needs.
is energy.
Anthony Joshua is a beautifully calm individual. He's that. That's how Anthony Yard is. But I'm telling you, Anthony Yard has got the thing where you just go, and it's a volcano.
Yeah, but stop. That volcano, which was inside of Anthony Joshua, was taken away from him in April of, you know what I'm going to say, when Klitschko knocked him down, when Klitschko had him hurt, you know what I mean? Anthony changed his style of boxing to becoming now thinking like, I'm going to have like more longevity in my career because it's a business. And when you're cutting them big 12 million, 15 million P's each time you're fighting, he's saying, right, I'm going to take a leaf out of the book of Klitschko. I'm going to take a leaf out of Lennox Lewis. And that's what he did. And he kind of changed his style because he was more trying to box with brothers. We saw that in the Carlos Takam fight. When I think that all he had to do is just say, listen, I'm just going to rock you up straight and just knock out Takam. We saw him trying to box, but then Usyk ruffled him. He said, right, now I'm going to go to war with you. We saw it in the Joseph Parker fight. And in the Joseph Parker fight, more so, Joseph Parker hurt Anthony Joshua to the body, but enough people didn't allude to seeing it. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, yeah. I hear what you're saying. But you're talking about longevity. There is more chance you coming out with a black eye in 12 rounds than there is in you just clapping a man out in 1 to 4 rounds.
I understand that, but
so
listen, when he was around them man there before, every time that Anthony Joshua would want to be archetypal to his cultural identity, like drop the hands, be a bit more loose to pop, then man straight away, now keep your hands up, man. Because you're looking, you say like,
why are you talking like that? Why are you talking like that?
One shot, because that's how it is. One shot.
No. Why are you talking like that for? Why are you talking like that?
Because I got my flat cap on, right? Them I was like, no, get your hands back up, bro. Like, so they was deliberately drilling into his head for him to become like Frank Bruno Mark II. So it was deliberate. So he couldn't be authentic to who his identity was. For him to be more loose, for him to feel the bop when he's walking into the ring playing Fela Kuti. You know what I mean? It was that identity was taken away from him.
Can I ask a question? Has Anthony Joshua got to a level whereby it's very difficult for him to listen to people on a lower level or perception of, or something?
Listen, of course it is. When you check this one out, when man say, "Oh well, he's accomplished a lot for limited boxing ability," for ability wise, he's accomplished more than man would 10 times his ability who's been in boxing. But he's had that desire and that graft, and he's stuck at it, and he has had mad success from it, and it hasn't been luck neither.
So do you think that? So sorry to cut you there. So do you feel that has left him that same desire and that passion?
I believe, by judging by the last fight, I believe that I thought it left him from after he fought Klitschko. I'll just be
okay. So basically, what you said that Klitschko fight made him reinvent himself, which
I reckon not only him, but I think the trainers and everybody else, where they had a safety first mechanism built into his mental psyche.
Yeah, well, that will happen depending on the environment you're in. And if you're in an amateur setup and an amateur environment, then obviously you're gonna take on that environment because you are most
a product of your environment, right?
So go ahead.
I'm saying, so when I'm looking at Anthony Joshua, I'm saying, do you remember when? Even though it was a
let me just say something, but before you go. a thought just come to my mind. You know, I think this is going to be a good thing for Anthony Joshua, what he's doing now.
Go on.
The reason why I think that, because of what I just said about the environment, I feel now, if he's leaving that setup, he's going to be going into a more gym setup.
Yeah.
And the environment is going to be, Oh, sorry, that just popped into my head.
No, of course,
it's going to be a good move for AJ.
Son, like I said to you already, when Anthony Joshua has been involved or having boxers around him, the fighters are going there as groupies, son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see all the pictures of all of them, man. They post up all their pictures. Yeah, I'm with the champ. But it's on groupie thing, bro.
No, sir. MCA, go and look at the record, please. We've knocked out 95% of our. There's no safety. There's no safety first, nothing. There's no safety. There's no safety first, nothing. Go and look. Just go and look at the record, and don't come in here chatting nonsense because I'll block you, bro. Safety first. When have you ever known anyone? I don't teach fighters to go points. I don't care what anyone says. That's just my makeup. And Emmanuel Shield was the same. I'm not here. The way I approach boxing is as a fan. When I'm paying my hard-earned, working-class, blue-collar money to come and watch boxing, I don't want to be watching no jab, I'll move around 12 rounds. Oh, yeah, nice. Keep it in the pocket. Little shimmy here, little shimmy there. No, fam. Just knock man out. Just knock a man out. And then you can't go into the barbershop and tell man you won by points. They just laugh at you. Bravo, that's a load of rubbish. Points, bro. When you go in the barbershop and tell man you won points, it's almost, man just start drinking their Red Bull and Dragon Star. They don't even taking you serious, Spencer. Man start drinking their gin and juice. What you're drinking? And start drinking the gin and juice if you tell man you won by points. So you just gotta go in there and knock a man out. That's the mindset. And if it goes points, you train. Obviously, you're a boxer. It's called boxing. Like, why do you need to keep on telling the man, box, other than just a reminder when he's in there, maybe he's coming off the game plan, but really you're a boxer. So that fundamentally, that's what it is. It's boxing. But it's the entertainment business. I guarantee you, a man with 22 wins and 21 knockouts is going to sell more tickets than a man with 20 wins and 10 knockouts.
For real.
Tell me I'm wrong. And AJ was doing that. He was clapping man out, knocking him out.
Don't mess up the money, Tun. Chris Howe, big up yourself for the 449. Thank you very much. Big up the fighters, right? Real boxing talk, as always. We need a live show this year. It's coming. I ain't gonna, right? I'm coming from Brom, no doubt. Also Ryder versus Jacobs. What's your thoughts? Very, very good thought. Danny Jacobs versus John Ryder.
Hold on. Danny Jacobs, one thought. We got another $4.99 there. From Mind Mastery. Come on.
Come on, my sister. From another
in the building. They was programming him. True, Spencer. They moved his frequency.
Come on.
And Mind Mastery.
She knows the thing.
That is my people. I don't want to expose the people. These are my people. These are the people I grew up with. And she's talking the truth. Shantae's talking the truth. So you might not maybe.
No, but it's the truth.
Shantae's talking the truth. Because it's your environment. And once you change that environment, you've changed the person.
Trust me.
You've changed the person. And knowingly or unknowingly, that's probably what happened to AJ. I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on that, but that's another fantastic point there from Mind Mastery. But let's go back onto what we was talking about because, bro, the thing was getting hyped. That's why it is, because I had to calm down. Stamina for sale says, bro, Tunde's on violence. Bro, pure violence. Pure violence. Anyway, 84 Boxing says Tunde needs to send AJ voice notes daily. Bro.
Come on.
But, these voice notes are for Anthony Young. Sorry. All right now. Come on. Anyway, let's get back to this, Spence. But yo, we haven't even touched on the trainers. We haven't even broke down. We need Tunde, AJ's hype man. Yeah, come on. AJ's personality went missing. He is now trying to find himself, and I think that's great.
And I agree.
You know?
And I agree with you.
It's also great because if you recognize that something was taken from you, you know, unknowingly, and you've literally knocked yourself on the head and realized that, you know what, I just need to be myself again. I just need to, you know, that's what happens to people in life. Remember, life's a journey. And this young man has had to deal with a lot of pleasing people, being that figurehead of boxing. You know, millions of people following him daily on social media. And, you know, I can see it. I haven't been there, so I don't know. And again, please always remember this. I'm just talking from where I can see things. I don't know what it's like to walk in this young man's shoes. What I do know is that he's done a lot, Spence. Anthony Joshua has done a lot.
Let me tell you this. He's done amazing for the sport. And I ain't gonna lie to you. You see when he's fighting all them big world title fights in the UK, you know how much money I was getting from Nigerian dignitaries when they want to fly over? No, seriously. Mr. Spence, I want you to host us. So no, I can never ever diss Anthony Joshua for it. But what I am saying is the reason why we're speaking the way that we're speaking is we wanted to do more. We wanted to come back. You know what I mean?
Bro, this Nigerian woman keep on messaging me. Sir, can you give Anthony Joshua my phone number? I'm like, get out of here, man.
Tunde, I think the same woman contact me. She come tell me about she need to pay her rent.
I said it to you. I said that to you. The woman was pissing me off, bro.
She can't pay her rent.
Sending me pictures of her yard. Brock she is. I need help from Anthony Joshua. I need help from Anthony Joshua. I said, bro, message Anthony Joshua then. What are you messaging me? Or get better still, message Spencer Fearon. He's the plug.
Son, that woman messaged me. She was messaging me every day for about 3 months, you know. Till I said, look, I can't help you, man. I have to block her.
Bro, I had to block her. Bro, I was being patient with her, but she was taking liberties, sending me pictures of her settee and everything like that. I said, nah. Bro, I come from the hood. I see them settees every day. Bro. Anyway, come on. Anyway, let's get back to this thing. Rachel Chigozi, she says, if there was no AJ, Tyson would have stayed on his couch and Usyk would still be ruling the cruisers. Evening, gents. Evening, Rachel.
Now, you know what, Rachel? You have a fantastic point because, and I agree with you, because I don't think Tyson Fury would have come back if AJ weren't getting all the adulation and Tyson Fury sat down there when he was going through the mental demons thinking, how comes I just beat Klitschko and they're not lauding me, they're not rating me like that? You know what I mean? And I do, because I remember one time I sent a tweet, and I think it was after AJ beat Molina, and I said, AJ is the best heavyweight in the world. #facts. And Tyson Fury, come on the thing. No, Spencer, not the best heavyweight. That's your opinion. He's the best heavyweight in your opinion, right? Hot me up. I think the thing must have got about 1,000 retweets, yeah? And then I replied back to Tyson Fury. This one, Tyson Fury was in no man's land, you know what I mean? Weighing all 50 stone in that. And I said, listen, I'm not doubting your ability, because you know, everyone knows I know me and Tyson's cool. I said, I'm not doubting your ability or anything, but what you should do, champ, is come back and show the world what you're all about. Because technically, the best heavyweight in the world. I'm going to dig up that tweet, because I remember when I went back, was going back and forth. And I know for a fact, if Anthony Joshua weren't picking up the titles that Tyson Fury was stripped of, I don't think Tyson Fury would have come back. I think that was the burning thing that lit the fuse inside of Tyson Fury to say, nah, I'm not having that. It's truth. I know personally from Usyk, where he always wanted to fight Anthony Joshua from the amateurs to, right?
Yes.
So when he saw the success of Anthony Joshua,
I said it on the Fighters Right. I said, you best mind, because this man has got a burning desire.
Yeah. So, I mean, Rachel Chigozi, I'm in absolute agreement with you.
272 on the live play. Please press the
like, subscribe,
like,
and we need
comment.
cash. Lots of it.
And cash. And bring Spencer's got his collection bowl, aka his hat. Bro, we see this shit, bro. We're certain man's scared to ask for the collection, but we're around the collection bowl.
Listen to me, man. If you don't ask, the answer will always be no.
Yes. Skyliner Shumo says boxing needs AJ to be a world champion. You know what? I'm gonna second that because he's a great role model and a great ambassador. He actually does good for boxing. He's always done good for boxing in the sense that, you know, he ain't cussing bad words publicly. Because you got to remember, you know, once you get into a certain position, you do, no matter what you say, you do have to be mindful of what comes out of your mouth. And I feel that the way that he's carried himself in his career thus far,
he's been a gentleman, sir.
Has been exemplary. He's been a great role model, and yes, he does. You know, he's a good advert for boxing, heavyweight boxing, and boxing in general. I agree with that. All right, Spence. Big hold on. Nilente says, big up you, man. As always, great banter, great boxing tool. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. You know, we're just keeping a real thing, and that's what the people need. We don't need no Jim will fix it kind of commentary. You understand? Them Blue Peter commentary. We did the real thing. And you're getting it from a boxing man, a trainer, a manager, and you're getting it from the man who has got more info than Google. Bro, Google ain't got the information. Bro, Spencer was there in 1934 when Luis Ortiz was sparring with Jack Johnson.
It was 1909. It was 1909. 1934, Jack Sharkey was the world heavyweight champion. But that's another story for another day. Come on, right?
Come on, I like that. I've much respect, brother. He said, Tunde, you should let your hair down for a few days and party in Dubai. You deserve it. You know what? Even Anthony said to me today, he said, Unks, come on, man. This is too much. This is too much. But you know what? It's like I say, people are just different. People are different, and this is my life. And that's why I get so hype about it. Like, no one can't tell me nothing. I'm living this. This is without this blessing from God Almighty, whatever you want to call him, Allah, Jesus, whatever. This is me, and this is how I am, and it's very difficult. I was telling Anthony today, because Anthony's like, come on, like, bro, it's very difficult for me because I kind of live an ascetic life, one of seclusion when it comes to boxing, because I feel this thing. But thank you very much for your comment.
So what day are you returning back?
I can't tell the people live because man might be at
if you're out there for another few days, I'm sending my tailors.
Stop there. I've got coffee with Paul Ware tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, big up Paul Ware.
Big up Paul Ware, former WBO world champion.
So we've got I'm sending it to my tailors for them to cut you and Anthony a suit.
Okay.
Each.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so I got big up Suited and Booted of Dubai. When they make your suits, they will cut your suit and you get the suit in 24 hours. You pick the fabric, then man you have 3 fittings, 3 of them, 3 times they go over the suit. You know what I mean? They measure 3 times and cut once, and the suits, they're perfectly fit to you. They're perfectly fit to your body. So yeah.
Okay, it's an hour now, Spence, and we have to really come into what we.
One second, let me get my another juice.
Spenny Rankin, gin and juice. I know there's some different kind of vodka in that orange. Try to style it out. He's slipping. I know them alcoholics when they just look around and just slip the flipping vodka in the gin and the thing. Anyway, but we're gonna name those coaches which we spoke about at the very beginning of the show. You know, I think 1 hour of a preamble to a show is enough. So let's get this thing cracking Big up Noah. He says, Tunde, is it true you're like, come on? It's coming through my son right now. But yeah, I was alright. I was a decent footballer. But yeah, so the trainers in mention are Virgil Hunter, Robert Garcia, Ronnie Shields, Mr. Chill. Sorry, forgive me if I don't know his full name. Spencer will clarify the full name. And I think those were the 4 on the poster. Let me have a look at this poster.
Virgil Hunter as well. Virgil Hunter was up there.
And Virgil Hunter. Yeah, so you had and we did have Robert. No. Listen, we have Robert McCracken on the poster. We have Alvarez's trainer. What's his name?
Eddy Reynoso.
Eddy Reynoso. We have Robert Garcia on the poster. We have Ronnie Shields on the poster. We have Virgil Hunter on the poster. And we have Mr. Chills on the poster. Is that okay for me to call him Mr. Chills?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Mr. Chills.
Yeah, Mr. Chills on the poster. Okay, so let's start with the top, which is Robert McCracken. Should Anthony Joshua continue to train with Robert McCracken? And if so, why? And also, why not?
All right. This is the reason why I would say like Anthony Joshua should leave for Rob McCracken, right? Because Rob McCracken made 2 men who are beneath him come into the AJ camp and corrupt Anthony Joshua's mind. So therefore, you know what I'm talking, and you know I'm talking the truth, right? So that's the reason why I'm saying no, you shouldn't. Because right now, Angel Fernandez is still in employment. So when you careful when man's hugging you, that they ain't got a knife in the other hand to stab you in your back, bro.
To choke out your ass. But it's facts. It's facts.
Right.
It's facts. You know,
even
our
though,
team.
come fight night, I heard that while Anthony Joshua's in the changing room, he's watching vintage 1950s black and white fights of like Joe Louis, and this is what Joby Clayton was giving him to watch, yeah? You understand. Watch them, man, but not on fight night. Because you're giving them old warriors, you're giving them energy.
Bro, we need to start charging man to listen to this show, you know. Because this thing, bro, you're giving you're giving people the real thing, the knowledge.
Right. Yeah, of course, man. So, now listen to me. When you're in that situation, right? When you're trying to you're trying to impute too much knowledge and information, you could be burnt out because that happens on your computer certain times. So why are you trying to do this now? Why are you trying to impute so much? You should be just imputing out of Brockupper, man. I don't need to be watching all this and like, yeah, if it goes to round 13, what I'm going to do, I'm going to slip, come underneath the top, and throw to the body, then I'm going to roll over, then throw the right hand. No, brother. That's what I'm saying. So the reason why I'm saying Robert McCracken should have gone, because Robert McCracken was silly enough to say or to believe where my man said, we need more people in the camp.
Okay, cool. James Morrison says, AJ is an option for Rob. AJ needs someone who is going to make him a priority. He wasn't even there for the first part of his camp for the Usyk fight. A point. And off the canvas boxing says AJ should leave McCracken because from the outside looking in, it doesn't appear that AJ 100% believes in McCracken, believes McCracken can guide him to beat Usyk.
And obviously don't.
One last one. From Wayne McCleary, he says AJ has Usyk on the back foot a few times after he hurt him. AJ needs to pile on the pressure. That doesn't relate to the Robert McCracken. So yeah, off the canvas boxing and James Morrison made 2 points there, Spence.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying it's difficult. Robert McCracken, number one is this. Robert McCracken should get a knighthood, not an MBE because he got MBE. Robert McCracken should get a knighthood for the program that he put in place for UK boxing in the amateurs, especially from the success that we've had since, and it's 10 years now, you know, since AJ won Olympic gold medal. It's been incredible what he's done, right? But also, sometimes you can spread yourself too thinly. But when you're in the GB setup, right? I'm just telling you how it is. No one can't do me nothing. When you're in the GB setup.
In the what? GB setup. Hold on. Hold tight, Joey Graham. Tommy Brooks is who will make AJ a legend. Okay, go ahead, Spence.
Yeah, I can go back to Tommy Brooks in a minute. Big up Troy, always supporting Mr. Graham. Big up yourself, right? So I'm saying, GB setup, you are programmed. When you come out in the GB squad, yeah, it's only certain men who have rebel in them that don't go and still stay at the GB squad, who still stay around Robert McCracken, who still stay around all of these guys. There's only certain fighters, namely Lawrence Okoli, right? Because what happened is anyone who comes here, you're still playing second fiddle to Anthony Joshua, but then you're also playing second fiddle to the whole GB setup because the alignment that Robert McCracken still got down there, because I think he's the technical coordinator now for down there, all the rest of it. So it's very, very difficult. And your program, so it's a factory line. It's a factory line. So you come out with the amateurs, and if you're any good and you're on the English squad or you're on the GB squad, that you're going to end up at Matchroom. Reason why you're going to end up at Matchroom is because the pipeline's there, it's in set. So now we're seeing a kind of change there. So was Anthony Joshua a priority for Robert McCracken? Of course he was, because nobody weren't making money like Anthony Joshua. So of course to Robert McCracken, he's a priority, but you're still saying like, bro, and he's thinking for himself now. So, and a lot of people say that he should get rid of me. So Robert McCracken needs to count his blessings that he got 3 more fights out of Anthony Joshua, because everybody was saying that Robert McCracken should have been relieved from his position after he lost in the first fight against Ruiz. When Lennox Lewis famously said, "Well, you can't bring your high school teachers to university." Do you remember that? Right. Yeah. So, but then off of that, I'm saying I do respect loyalty as well. You know what I mean? I respect loyalty because I believe that loyalty is royalty. But then you can't be loyal to become a fool. And if you're being foolish with your loyalty, then that makes no sense neither, because that's blind loyalty. So when Robert McCracken had Anthony Joshua was saying, right, I need more people in the camp, because I'm listening to my man saying, like, I need more boxing people around. Yeah, you can have more boxing people around, but you didn't have to have them employed in your camp. And then which man were you employing into your camp? All right then. And where were the experience? Where are the experience with heavyweight boxing?
Okay. All right. Let's move on to Eddy Reynoso. What do you feel Eddy Reynoso can add to Anthony Joshua?
Reynoso, Cabozo. I think he could add a lot. Reason being, he's got a pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world, right? And success leaves clues. It's quite simple. What did these guys famously do in that camp? Is they famously, similar to you, Tun, with your work that you're doing with Annie Young, that they religiously go over one shot 500, 1,000 times a training session, right? The slip counter left hook, the slip counter roll right hand, they work on shots, domineering they work on things constantly till it becomes really. Do you remember, like, what was it? It was Rocky 2 when Mickey goes to Rocky. I want you to jab this thing 500 times until your arms gonna feel like they wanna fall off. That is when you constantly keep on repetition. I know Eddy Reynoso will bring that. I also know because.
Hold on. Chris, bro, I'm not Mexican, fam. What do you mean my pronunciations are madness sometimes? I'm not Mexican. I cannot pronounce a Mexican's name if I'm not familiar with the name. And you don't need to worry about my pronunciation, my friend. I come from a literate family. Don't worry about that.
Well,
But yeah, I'm not Mexican. And Aftab Ijaz, if you're replying to him, I'm gonna block you. Anyway, sorry, Spence. These brothers make me laugh.
So that's what I think Eddie Reynoso will bring. I know they are very, very meticulous. They're studious in the work that they do. Right?
Yes.
But it's easy to say you're studious. Remember, he comes from a line. His dad was a big boy trainer as well, right? So, and he's got a heavyweight as well, Frank Sanchez. Right?
Yes.
The Cuban guy.
And 84, bruv, come and tell him. Even Steve Bunce can't pronounce my name properly. Tunde.
Or Frank Warren.
Yeah, Frank is great. Anyway, sorry, Spence.
So that's what I believe that they will bring. And also I believe that they'll bring a different setup. But this is the next thing. When we had Barack on our show from the Ak and Barack show on the Zone, so we've got big up our brothers there. And he was saying that Eddie Reynoso said that he saw little things that Anthony Joshua can make, 2 slight adjustments. He said that he'll train Anthony Joshua for free, right? He'll train Anthony Joshua for free. And if Anthony Joshua doesn't win, don't take no payment. But he said if he wins, he has to pay. But like I'm saying, I have to agree with my brother from another mother, brother Tunde Ajayi, that I don't like when man come with this free talk.
Free talk. With that free talk, he should have taken that money and trained Andy Ruiz better, because Andy Ruiz never looked like no world beater in that last fight. And Carmen Shireen, she just echoed what I was saying. Well, come on, man. Listen, everybody's gonna say they can do a great job with AJ. Everybody. Because everybody wants that. Most people want that paycheck.
Of course they do.
And so this is where Anthony Joshua has to use. Hey! Shouldn't care. £100 from our brother.
It's older minute. That's Ben older minute.
Ben 419.
I knew it. Salute.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, thoroughly enjoying the chat tonight. I really don't know the personalities of the proposed trainers, so I'm just listening and watching. I just wish AJ had the engine of Derek Chisora so he could just beat up Usyk for 70% of the fight. That's all that is needed.
You know what? Forget about £100. Yeah? That is a very valid point. Simply because of this. Because Derek Chisora put in a better performance than what Anthony Joshua did against Usyk. And I know it's for a world title and all the rest of it, but Usyk, after fighting Derek Chisora, was very despondent when he went back. And after I watched that, I said, nah, man, Anthony Joshua's going to beat this guy. But that's more to do with that we got to give the respect to the testimony to the toughness and the ferocity and the pace that Derek Chisora put in that fight. Big up my guy, Leon Figures. Respect to you, my brother.
Thank you for the £8, but I'm just, all right, what is? Hold tight, John Goss. $1.56. Thank you very much, sir. No matter how big, no matter how small, everything is appreciated and it's coming with full and maximum gratitude. So thank you very much, sir. Big up P-Shout. Tunde is a bad boy. Big up, fam. Come on, you know the set. We switch it up. So this is a very interesting topic, Spencer, what we're dealing with. So that was Eddy Reynoso, and his camp seems to be riding high at the is riding high at the moment.
It is riding high.
It's the winning mindset, but you gotta be careful not to go with a trainer and a camp just because they're riding high for the moment, because you just need to feel the energy. The energy's got to be right. You got to be around people that will tell you your shit. Certain times I come in the gym, I said, bro, that was rubbish. You understand? Then certain times Anne says to me, Unks, what's going on, bro? You've been smoking or something. And you understand what I'm saying?
Drinking the juice.
Or Ade will come in And Ade would just be doing nonsense. And like, we're like, bruv, what going on? sorry. We'd be like, what's happening? So you
wait there.
need,
I like this one. Listen.
you
Would it
need
be
those
okay
type
for
of
Tommy Brooks to go live
wait,
right now? We get Tommy Brooks on to.
Would it be okay? Tommy Brooks, come on the thing. Spencer, well, send us, Gary, deal with the, you know,
Troy.
Deal with what you need to deal with to send him the link or the link, you know, the link that we can
Yeah,
get.
Troy's my guy. And he's been.
And we can accommodate Tommy Brooks because Tommy Brooks is from the old school. So it'll be
Excellent
fantastic to hear what he has to say and where he's coming from. So we're done Eddy Reynoso. Let's see what Robert Garcia is saying. And I've done a bit of research on Robert Garcia today. Yeah, because I someone at the top of the show said that it's rumored that Anthony Joshua flew in Ronnie Shields and Robert Garcia.
He did.
My only thing, okay,
he did fly them.
Huh?
He did fly them.
Okay, where's my other phone? Because I had it and I actually wrote it down on my notes. Let me see if it's transferred because this phone's linked. But anyway, I actually looked through Robert Garcia's resume, and I realized he's never trained a heavyweight.
Tunde,
He had one
you just realized.
Wait there, let me get my phone. Let me get my phone.
When Tunde is saying that he didn't realize that he's never trained a heavyweight, I could have told you that already. He's never ever trained a heavyweight. So this is Christmas, Valentine's Day,
Oh, look at me. The phone's right here to release. Spence? Where's Spence gone? What, Spence just flash out? This guy's something else in him. But yeah, Robert Garcia, as I was saying, it was Trainer of the Year 2011, Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year, some massive accolade. He was also the former IBF Super Featherweight Champ, year 1998 to 99. Trained fighters like Maidana, Abner Mares, Margarito Ortiz, Victor Ortiz, Kelly Pavlik, former middleweight champion, Brandon Reyes, good fighters. The only heavyweight Robert Garcia has changed was a journeyman heavyweight called Manuel Quezada, and he was a journeyman. And so I asked myself, I didn't Spencer the stream yet, but I'm asking myself, Spence, I was saying that although Robert Garcia has trained...
Tunde, I'll come back into it. I can't hear you. I'll click it back in.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I would say to the fighters, right, listeners, I was saying that although Robert Garcia has trained a lot of notable champions through his career, he hasn't trained a heavyweight, other than the one heavyweight who was a journeyman. So he probably was just maybe getting experience. So Manuel Quezada, a journeyman heavyweight. So my thing is that although he's got the championship experience with the lighter guys, do you think this is a good fit for Anthony Joshua at this stage of his career? It's a question I'm really looking forward to Spencer answering. I'm not too sure. I've seen... I mean, I was in California, but Robert Garcia never had the Robert Garcia Academy at the time. But Mexican fighters, is the Mexican way of fighting actually gonna suit Anthony Joshua at this stage of the game? It could do. It could do. I'm not too sure, because maybe the aggressive body punching style of the Mexicans, may be what he needs. I'm not too sure. Spencer and his moody Wi-Fi, we know that. What's this from James Douglas? James Douglas says, I think it's simple. AJ just needs a new environment, and if that means a new trainer, that's a given. Whatever gives him that hunger or motivation, I think we will see something different in the rematch. And that's what I'm praying for. you know. But I guess Usyk's got his praying as well. Man's got it like it's just a one-way thing. Like Usyk, he's got ideas as well, and you know, I'm sure that he's gonna be expecting now anything. Anthony Joshua is gonna. I'm adding Spencer back to the stream.
Thank you, mate.
But I can't see him. Yeah, you know he's in his new place with the dodgy Wi-Fi.
Nah, bro.
Because all I'm seeing is some black screen from Spencer. But yeah, Off the Canvas Boxing says Robert is my choice. He teaches the Mexican come forward style. Spence, you there?
I'm here, brother. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. So I'll read Off the Canvas Boxing's comment. He said, Robert is my choice. He teaches the Mexican come forward style, is perfect for AJ, speaks English unlike Reynoso, and has no heavyweight fighters on his books. Well, I said that actually may not play well for AJ because he hasn't trained no heavyweights. And
that's a deterrent. That is a deterrent, my friend.
Sorry, he's trained one heavyweight who was a journeyman heavyweight. And if you do your research, if you look on Google or whatever it is, you will see it's actually noted journeyman heavyweight. So he ain't worked with the big guys at the top level, which doesn't necessarily mean nothing because when you're coming up, your first guy could be a heavyweight, your first guy could be a super middleweight.
So Lennox Lewis said to me that Robert Garcia can't even give instructions properly to Mikey Garcia. So what's he giving instructions to AJ?
And ladies and gentlemen, here live on The Fight Is Right, we have the one and only Tommy Brooks, the legendary trainer of many champions who Spencer will undoubtedly name to us. But it'd be interesting to hear what the legend himself has to say. I know at the moment he's probably having problems connecting, but we got the link. Tommy's in the building. Tommy Brooks is in the building. And it's us that giving these old men, it's
Thank
us
you guys very
that's
much.
bringing these legends of the game back into this thing here because we respect our elders and we know, unlike a lot of the youngsters nowadays, that we can only but learn from the wisdom of the elders. So, ladies and gentlemen, here live on The Fight Is Right, we have the one, the only, Mr. or let me call him Sir Tommy Brooks.
Sir Tommy Brooks.
Much too kind. That's
Come
very
on.
kind.
How you doing, sir? How you doing, sir?
Tommy Brooks, did you get a phone call from Anthony Joshua's people? Because I remember Troy gave me the number and I sent it over to one of the AJ's people and said, give Tommy Brooks a call. Your resume is too long to speak about, right? Tommy's worked with all the great guys. Yep. He's worked with all the great fighters. He's worked with Evander Holyfield. He's worked with Mike Tyson. He's worked with David Tua. He's worked with a great Mike McCullum. I asked Tommy Brooks, who technically he's one of the greatest fighters we worked with, said Mike McCullum and Pernell Whitaker. Right? Are you listening to that lineage there? Mike McCullum and Pernell Whitaker is one of the greatest ever to do it, if not one of the greatest southpaws of all time. So obviously, AJ's going up against a southpaw, and here's a man that used to work with a masterful southpaw. Obviously, they could give you some clues, right? Some tips, right?
Yeah, of course.
So did you get a phone call from anyone from AJ's camp, sir?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, let me just say, Anthony Joshua and his team, if you're watching this show, and I know you definitely got people watching this show, Mr. Brooks is here, and I think you should give him a shout. I mean, listen, if you're calling in people like Robert Garcia, and you definitely should be looking at someone like Mr. Brooks.
Stop for a second. No disrespect. Robert Garcia can't chat to Tommy Brooks.
No, sir.
Robert Garcia can't talk to Tommy Brooks. Right? I'm just
Tommy has been involved. Tommy, sorry, that's disrespect. Mr. Brooks, Uncle Brooks has been involved with Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Michael Grant, Larry Donald, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, Vasily Jirov, Mike McCallum, Johnny Bumpus, Meldrick Taylor, Charles Murray, Freddie Pemberton, Rocky Lockridge, Junior Jones, Sean George, Yuri Foreman, Tony Jeffries, and David Price. So, Tommy, this is a serious resume.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate.
Yes, sir. I mean, listen. On looking at it, what do you actually feel AJ needs at this stage of his career?
To be honest, to get back to the basic fundamentals. Just get back to the basics.
Which are?
Using your jab, setting your punches up. Don't be there when you don't need to be there. Don't force anything. Just let it flow. He's a very talented athlete. All he has to do is just let it flow. But you got to have somebody in the corner to remind him of that.
Okay, Tommy, what do you think you could add to Anthony Joshua's repertoire?
Nothing really. Like I said, all he has to do is go back to the basics. You know, he has all the assets already. You know,
Mr. Brooks, Uncle Brooks, Spencer, listen to the answer. He ain't saying. He said, "I don't need to add nothing." You got these trainers telling we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do. But Uncle Brooks is telling you he don't need to add nothing. This is what Anthony needs. It's the same thing which James Cook, our elder for me, had said when he came, when we brought him into the camp with Anthony Yard. He said, "Hey, I'm not here to teach him nothing. We just remind him about certain things."
That's all it is with him. He, like I said, he has all the assets already. He knows what to do. He needs to know when to do it, though. You know, somebody has to remind him.
Yes, sir.
Right. Fifi's got a question here. And the question for Mr. Brooks is, how much improvement can a fighter make with a new trainer when the next fight is around the corner within 2 to 3 months? And that is a very good question, Fifi. And thank you for the €4.99.
In my opinion, I think what the trainer and the fighter needs to sit down and go over the videos. You know, video of his opponent and the video of his past couple of fights, and go over the things where he achieved and the things that he didn't do that he should have done.
And I always say that. Studying the opponent's last couple of fights as opposed to going way back in their career, because obviously it's the last couple of fights that's going to show or leave the clues. Is that right, sir?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying, like, what was the difference in working with a Mike Tyson to an Evander Holyfield?
Two different beasts.
Covered.
Two different beasts. You know, Tyson is the type of guy. He's very articulate. You know, he's very smart, and he was taught by one of the greatest trainers ever, Gus Tiamato. Yeah. So you know, he knew all the basics, but that's the thing. He started getting away from some of the basics. It's like everybody in the top 10 right now. Once you get to a certain level in the business and you think you high and mighty, you know, there's somebody around the corner waiting to take your spot, you know? So you got to stay on top of the basics. If you get away from the basics and start depending just on power, somebody's going to catch you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And to echo that, you know, my fighter, Anthony Yard, you know, he's got the high, you know, probably the second highest. I know Baterviev has knocked out everybody, but he's definitely got the second highest knockout ratio in the light heavyweight division, rated #1 in the world at the moment with the WBO. And we don't work on power. We just work on the fundamentals.
Yeah.
So that's a great point.
People got to remember, if you're throwing the punches correctly, the power is going to be there. You know, if you're showing how to shift your weight, when you shift your weight, your power comes with it. And what a lot of people don't realize, the power comes from the whole. If you're throwing the right hand, it comes from the whole right side of your body, not just your upper body. You know.
Mr. Brooks, Uncle Brooks, Sir Brooks, we need to charge him for this knowledge. I'm just telling you straight.
Come on, man.
You're giving it. We're putting Mr. Brooks on the payroll because this is excellent. But this is what I believe Anthony needs. He doesn't need the circus. He needs the straight talking from a person like yourself. So I'm putting my 2 pence into the hat, and I'm saying that Anthony Joshua or his people give Mr. Brooks a phone call. Carry on,
happy
Spence.
to work with him.
Well, the thing about it is,
I've met him before. He's a really nice guy. You know,
yes,
he seems to be a really nice guy, and he looks very knowledgeable too. So it seems like he picks up on things really quick. You know,
yes,
but you got to figure in the right information though.
Yes, yes. Spence.
So, like, if you had any advice to give to Anthony Joshua coming up to his next fight, if you had any advice to give him, what advice with like you've been around with some great fighters, you've worked with some great fighters. I mean, truly great fighters, not just great because I was great to watch them, but they were great, all-time greats. What advice would you give to Anthony Joshua?
The biggest thing I would tell him was you got to believe in yourself and work on what you're going to do in the fight in the gym. Because if you don't do it in the gym, you're not going to do it in the fight.
There you go, sir. There you go. You train for the knockout, you get the knockout.
That's right. That's right.
Question from Naz. He says, if Sir Brooks, you see the title that I gave you, Mr. Brooks. If Sir Brooks was AJ's new trainer, would you go straight back into the Usyk fight, or take 1 or 2 fights first and then the rematch?
I'd get at least one fight in, you know, and
Thank you very much.
Go for it.
Yeah, just are you saying that based on
spend some time with him and feed him information that he needs, and then you go into a fight and see if he can do it, you know, or if he's willing to do it. I know he can do it because he's a smart kid, you know. So,
would that decision be based on really the technical ability of Usyk as opposed to him just like we just come from a rematch? When I say we, I mean Anthony Yard, the rematch with Lyndon. But Anthony knew that we were going through so much mentally. He was going through so much mentally. And we knew that we can just jump straight back in there. And as you saw, Anthony wiped him out within 4 rounds. Usyk, in my estimation, from what I can see, is a very technical fighter. And I believe that if AJ is or has chosen to get this new trainer, do you think that definitely he needs the 1 or 2 fights before going in there?
Like I said, I think with him, like I said, he's a smart kid. So, you know, all he needs is 1 tune-up.
Yes. I believe so as well, Spence.
I mean, anything, don't get me wrong, anything could happen in a fight. But being the athlete that he is, he's a former champion. He knows what it's like to be there, and he should be there, you know. But when you make mistakes, you know, it costs you in the long run. You know, it don't matter how small a mistake is. One mistake could cost you your title.
Mm-hmm.
And if
going back to certain fights, sorry, Lady Shan just put, to big her up, she's just sent in £1.79, Lady Shan. But what opponent could be that bridge before Usyk, though? What kind of opponent would you like to see Anthony Joshua? If he was to not take the rematch straight away, what kind of opponent would you have Anthony Joshua in with before he fought Usyk?
To be honest, in my opinion, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's what you do in the fight, you know? That's the key. It doesn't matter who it is, you know? Because everybody's dangerous. Anybody that got 2 arms and a brain is dangerous.
When Anthony Yard against Arthur, people were automatically saying, you know, Anthony used to go to these new young trainers. There were trainers, but I was never gonna even allow that. I only wanted an elder in the camp, and I phoned Spencer, and I asked him what did he think about James Cook, a respected guy, former
British and European champion.
British and European champion, an older
WBA
guy
number one contender.
Yes, older guy for us. Do you think nowadays this generation of fighters are too quick to just
disregard?
Disregard
the elders.
Yeah, disregard. Do you think that the new generation are too quick to disregard the knowledge and the wisdom that the older coaches have?
In my opinion, I think old guys like me, we stick to the basic fundamentals, and you work off the basics. A lot of new guys, they got these different little things that they're working on, and it don't work with everybody, The basic fundamentals always work. I don't care who you fight. It could be George Foreman, it could be Muhammad Ali. The basic fundamentals get you there, but you got to know the basics.
So you just feel that AJ. So you feel that AJ maybe got away from the basics of what he was doing?
In my opinion. Look, when you can punch like he can punch, a lot of guys resort to just thinking about power, But in order to get the power there, you got to set it up, and that's what he's lacking right now. He's not setting it up. He got power in both hands, but you got to set it up. The guy's just not going to stand there and let you hit him,
And like I said, Tunde, at the top of the show, even though it was a lesser opponent, the way Anthony Joshua demonstrated that brute, raw thuggishness when he stopped Michael Sprott, and he just welled away on Michael Sprott, right? And he set up with his true jab, right and left hook, then he just went to work, right? Now, all of a sudden now, it seems like he's trying to be too technical.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. You got to stay to the basics. What you're good at, stay with it,
Yes.
That's what got you to where you are. Stay with it. Don't try to be more than what you are.
So, me and Spencer was talking offline about, Robert Garcia and the fact that, he's a Mexican. He has a Mexican, obviously, they got a certain style. And Spence was saying that he doesn't feel that Mexican is suited for a black fighter like Anthony Joshua.
Hey, look, if you got the knowledge, you got the knowledge. I don't care if you're black, white, red, yellow, brown. Knowledge is knowledge.
Come on. That's what I said.
Knowledge
and to be fair, that's what Spencer said. But we were just playing God's advocate, as Spencer likes to say. We were playing God's advocate.
But what I'm saying, Tommy, what I'm saying is they base on every fighter fights to their cultural identity.
Not necessarily. I think every champion has their own.
They got I know, but they still have their cultural identity that seeps into their personality as well as their fighting acumen. Now,
look here. Not to cut you off, you got to remember these guys are human beings. They're human. They got faults just like everybody else. And if they
but do you think
certain pattern, that's what they're going to stick with. But you got to have somebody there that knows them and tells them, look, man, you got to go back to what we've been doing all along, what we've been winning with. Don't change up. You got to stick with what got you where you are.
Interesting. Spence?
Right? But no,
this is what I'm saying. I was taught how to box by one of the greatest knockout artists that ever lived, Archie Moore.
Come on.
And when I started training with him, all he would do was let me jab. I said, I want to throw a right hand. He said, you ain't ready to throw a right hand. But guess what?
Right.
I can knock you down with a jab.
I'll say to anybody, it's glad that you touched on that. Go watch Archie Moore's 1954 fight against Howard Johnson, right?
Yeah.
And Howard Johnson looked like an athlete of today, how muscular he was.
Right.
And he was jabbing and moving. Archie Moore was losing that fight. And Archie Moore just tricked him through an overhand right. I think it was late. I think it was like round 9 or 10. overhand right, claps him, and then from that wobble, just finished him. Archie Moore was a serious puncher and the highest knockout ratio of any fighter holding a world title.
And even more than that, he believed in himself and what he was doing. You know,
that's what I said.
A lot of guys, they start listening to the press or the guys, you know,
thank you.
Them, yak, this, that, you should do this, you do that. No, man, stay with what got you to where you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Didn't I say that, Spencer? I told
you. You did.
The people nowadays, or certain people, they're too worried about what others are saying. And
the hell with them. You gotta keep doing what you do, what keeps you winning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, this is just pure gold having you here, Mr. Sir Brooks. So sorry, forgive me if I'm stuttering because it's not every day that we get
a living legend.
It's not every day we get a legend. But anyway, how familiar are you with Ronnie Shields? And do you feel Ronnie Shields could be a good choice for?
Yeah, he is a good guy. He
used to work with him.
Fundamentals, and he's been around for a long time. He was a great fighter himself. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because the talk is that Ronnie Shields and Garcia both recently visited the UK and did some work. And I'm saying that I think it's to who the fighter gels with the most. And I'm hearing through the grapevine that Anthony Joshua thought that he gelled more with Robert Garcia than with Ronnie Shields. So it looks like Ronnie Shields.
Ronnie is he's a great guy, but he's not a pushy person. You know. You know, if you follow, you know what and do what you tell him, he tells you to do. You know, you're cool. You know. But if not, you know, he's not going to go crazy and, you know, start throwing stuff and calling you all kind of SOBs and dumbasses and stuff like that. You know, he's not that kind of a person, you know?
Yes. And do you think that's the kind of person AJ needs at this stage?
I don't know him that well, you know, so I really can't
Great
say.
Answer.
But I think anybody that's a great trainer, you know, he should have no problem with him.
Yes.
If you're being fed the right information, he's not stupid. Like I said, he's a smart kid. He knows when you're telling him what's right. You know.
Well, I'm telling everybody again. I'm gonna keep saying it. Anthony Joshua, please pick up the phone and give Sir Brooks a call. Give him an opportunity.
I'll be more than happy to show him some stuff.
Well, the thing about it is this: I've sent the number over to his man them, so I thought you'd have got a phone call. You didn't get a phone call. You didn't get a phone call. But the thing about it is this: because Anthony Joshua is this commodity, he just believes like anybody who's like some trainer of the past, blah blah blah. Like they must be in it for the money. They must be in it for the money. They must be in it for the money. Number one is this: it's a job. People should get People should get paid for their job, for their work.
Yes,
right? As scripture says, from the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. That's what it says, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going against that, but I don't think he should be looking at that. I'm saying, unfortunately, like what Tunde said earlier, which he alluded to, is that people that's looking on these new age trainers now, and we're disregarding the old guys. I could speak to and listen to for endless time when you're saying that you work with Archie Moore, because I studied a lot of Archie Moore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
sorry, Mr. Brooks. I have to just say this comment. Someone says he should hang up 2 chicken foot in the gym and get to work. He thinks he can eat burritos and beat Usyk. He said you're mad. He said you need pounded yam and vibes. Yeah, cool. I just had to throw that in there, Mr. Brooks, because we got some really cultural people that believe that you got to eat the good food, be around the right vibes to bring the best out of people. But
I'm telling you.
But then I do agree with what you did say, Mr. Brooks, which is knowledge is knowledge.
That's right.
And
That's it. You know,
I
and
do
you
agree.
got to be able to feed the fighter the right information at the right time. You know.
Mhm.
Well, Tun, I'm in agreement with what's that? Skylab X. That's my guy.
What's his name? Skylab Boxing 2000. Right, you're in agreement, sir. Right, cool. Say nothing. More questions for Ronnie. I'm just trying to think. How do you think training has differed over the years compared to when you was really in your element and the training nowadays?
Just like I said before, everybody's getting away from the basic fundamentals. You know, once you learn the basics, you can always add to it. You know, but if you don't
Okay.
know the basics, how you gonna add anything to it?
So I'm
If you
saying to
just
you,
depending on power, you know, you eventually you gonna get caught, or you
all
gonna
right,
find
Sir
somebody
Brooks.
that knows how to get around you. You know,
Yeah.
and beat you on point.
So
I
can
was
we
gonna
be
say,
more?
just explain of the fundamentals. Explain to our
Yes,
listeners
that's what I was gonna
that
say.
of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You
When
can't get away from the basics.
And what are the basics, Mr. Brooks?
You gotta learn, know how to jab, know how to use your weight, know how to make adjustments, use your jab, know how to throw combinations, know when to do it and when not to do it.
Do you believe that the mental psychology of a fighter is really paramount when going into the boxing ring?
Look, if you don't believe in yourself, you're wasting your time. You know, you got to
Yes,
believe in yourself.
that's facts. That's
I mean,
facts.
the corner could want it more than you want it. You know, but the corner ain't throwing that one punch. They're not gonna get hit not one time. You're the one gonna get hit.
Yeah, and I
You're
believe
the
if
one
you,
that put the work in. So you're the one that has to know what to do and when to do it.
and that's why I've always believed that the trainer's mentality has to be as strong, if not stronger, than the fighter. Because if the fighter feels that he can dominate the trainer and tell the trainer what to do, how is that a benefit to them?
But that's the key. The fighter and the trainer have to be on the same page. That's what I'm saying. If you do it in the gym, you can do it in the fight.
Yes, sir. Yes,
If you
sir.
don't do it in the gym, you're not gonna do it in the fight. You
This
know.
goes back to what Spencer was saying, that he felt that AJ had got certain men around him that just cheerleaders and you know they ain't really
No,
giving.
you need somebody in the corner that's gonna feed you the right information. And like I said, you got to work on it in the gym. I mean, just you shouldn't have to. When he comes back to the corner, I shouldn't have to tell him 5 or 6 different things. You know, all I got to do is remind. Look, remember when we did this in the gym? You know, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm glad you're saying this, because people were like, I've heard people say now, Tunde wasn't saying this to them, but I'm like, hold on. If me as a teacher has taught my student well, I shouldn't need to be telling you do a million things on fight night.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm at the point that where I'm at. With most of the guys that I work with, we did the work in the gym. So all I have to do is look, remember what we did, 1 or 2 things, and that's it. If you got a whole laundry list of stuff, they're gonna look at you and say, "Man, what?"
Exactly.
I don't remember that, But if like I said, if you work on it with them in the gym, and just say, "Look, remember how we did this," or throw this. But you've worked on it a number of times in the gym, so it comes back to them automatically.
In your opinion, hold on. Fifi's made another donation.
Come on.
Fifi says, Sir Tommy Brooks, who is the, you know what? This guy, me and this guy must be on the same thing. Who is the best? Where's the question gone? Who is the best heavyweight today? And which heavyweight of today would you be able to hold his own in the golden era of the heavyweight boxing? Of heavyweight boxing.
Woo-wee. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but none of these guys out there right now can hang with the old guys. They just don't have it. They just don't have it. Unless somebody gets caught early or something like that, But as far as boxing knowledge, nobody today got the knowledge those guys had.
Do you think that's because too many people outside of boxing have come into this sport? Because that's what I believe. I believe that if I'm a footballer, I want football teachers around me.
Exactly. No, you're right. That's 100% right.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't want
if you're a math teacher. How you gonna teach somebody about science? You know?
Come on. This is what I'm telling you.
If you're a science teacher, how you gonna teach somebody about math? You know?
Come on.
Just don't work.
What they say, too much cooks. What they say, Spence, too much cooks.
Too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. Exactly.
There you go. There you go. So when you come up with all this science, man, geometry, man, algebra, man, just knock out a man. That's my thing. Just knock a man out.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brooks. You're giving us so much wisdom here today. Spence, let's move on to Virgil Hunter.
Yep.
What do you know about Virgil, and do you think he could be also a super? I mean, I'll be honest with you. Outside of Andre Ward, I don't actually recall Virgil working with any big heavyweights or anything like that.
Yes.
I don't know him, so I can't comment.
Yes.
I'm saying because Virgil is very much like Tommy Brooks to the fact that they work on the basics and then they build off of the basics. But the basics is the foundation, and then from the foundation, then they build the house up on the back of it. That's what Virgil does. Virgil now is working with Joshua Boazzi, who's left from the UK. He's light heavyweight. He's left from the UK and he's gone out to work with Virgil in America. But so I know Anthony Joshua spent a little time because Anthony Joshua's management team also managed Joshua Boazzi. So he went out there, he did a little session with him just to kind of check out things and all the rest of it. So, but I don't really think that Virgil's in the run-ins. The two guys that are in the run-ins in my mind, and through the things that I've heard, is Ronnie Shields and Robert Garcia. They're the two men that are at the front run-ins of stuff right now.
Okay. There's a comment from Red Rose that said Mayweather, he's the youngest old school fight trainer. And one thing, when people come and watch us train, they're surprised that they don't see no high-tech anything. And when I was, as I said, Mr. Brooks, I was in most camps in Floyd's camp. I was there as a UK guy. I just went there, took fighters out there. I took 4 fighters out there. I was there from the Cotto fight. All the way I was up there for the Cotto fight, both Maidana fights. And one thing I always recall and notice about Floyd's training, there wasn't no high-tech business. He would come in, he would box, he would hit the bag, he would jump rope, do his calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, and that was it.
Stay to the basics. Simple. He just stayed at the basics.
And that's the blueprint that we followed. And as I say, we've been successful doing that, and we ain't changing because, people can say what they want about me, but I've always stuck to boxing. I don't know, and I'm not being disrespectful to any of these new science teachers. I just know boxing. That's all I study. And it's great to hear you saying that that's what AJ needs to do. Just go back to basics.
That's all he needs to do. Get somebody with him that knows the basics and is going to feed him the right information. That's all he needs. Like I said, he's a smart kid. He knows how to adapt and readapt.
Yes, sir.
He has the power. He has the skills.
Yes.
He just needs somebody to feed him the right information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks, Sir Brooks, as you're now known in the UK. It has been an absolute pleasure having you, blessing us with your presence
and your knowledge.
To be here, guys.
And just your knowledge. And if you don't mind, we would love to invite you back on our show.
I'd love to. I'll be happy.
Thank you very much, sir.
Listen,
the great Tommy Brooks.
I'm so honored to have you here today, sir. It is really, from one young trainer to a master, because that's what I'm going to call you. Somebody who's worked with so many fighters. I've watched so many fights. Me and Spencer, I've been at Spencer's house watching the heavyweights, seeing you in the corner, and to have you here today, I've just got so much respect and humbly say thank you. Thank you for coming up, sir.
No, seriously, thank you very much. I'm gonna do this again. I'm saying this now. Andy Joshua, because I know you're gonna hear about the show. Tommy Brooks is here,
Yes.
right? Just holler the guy, even for them to just to impart some information of knowledge, because you know what they say, like a new broom sweeps clean, an old broom knows every corner. And with gray hairs come wisdom, my friend.
Exactly.
So, right. So I'm sending that one out to Andy Joshua, because he's our brother and we wanted to do well. And that's the bottom line. We really do want to do well.
Yes.
But you know what? I think like when you're getting bombarded with all this information from everywhere, I'm saying I'm not looking for no new young man around me. I'm looking for some old cats.
Yes,
straight.
Sir.
The old guys is gonna get you where you need to be.
All right.
Come on. Thank you.
Thank you very
Ladies
much.
and gentlemen.
Take care. God bless you.
Good evening, babe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Sir Tommy Brooks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Steady ranking.
Bro, we done it again.
Fam, I'm in Dubai. You're in London. Tommy Brooks is in USA. This too much energy.
Come on, man. May I big up Troy Graham for hooking that up, because he just come on the thing. He's always been supporting really, really good guys. Got a good little podcast thing going out in America right now as well. I've got to big him up hard. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, Troy, like we want to talk to Michael Nunn. So, yeah, I mean, and Troy's got the hook up for that. So, yeah.
If Troy's online, why don't we get Troy on?
Yeah, Troy, just jump on. You got the thingy. Jump on, man. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, blessed up. Yes, blessed up. How you doing, man?
Well, we're blessed, man.
So much.
Thank you for getting Tommy Brooks on for us, yeah?
Definitely welcome.
Planned, but my black book's extensive. But if I know you, your black book becomes extensive as well. So your black book becomes my black book. That's how it goes.
So you think, yeah. But no, Tommy and I have a great relationship. We talk all the time. When Tommy speaks, I don't speak, because I have nothing that I could teach him, but he could teach me a lot. So why am I talking?
Troy, do you think this is a missing
ingredient?
Ingredient to a lot of these youngsters. They are just foregoing so much knowledge of the elders. What?
Yeah. Let me tell you what's missing. Love isn't something that's easy, and knowledge isn't something that comes about easy. When I hear Tommy speaks, he said once he's signed as a trainer, he tells them straight up, I'm not here to listen to you, because you hired me for a reason. So don't tell me what to do and all that. I'm the one with the training knowledge. You have to trust me. You have to listen to me. Tommy Brooks has a wayward person's spirits, because you have to understand Tyson, Holyfield, Pernell, Hasim Rahman, Junior Jones, etc., etc., etc. 5 different people I just named, 5 different personalities, right? He took all of them to heights that nobody else could take them to, right? Holyfield.
Let me just say. AJ, if you have not already signed a contract to have Robert Garcia as your trainer, believe me, young man, I'm a spirit man. I'm an energies person.
Right.
That Sir Tommy Brooks has the vibes as my master said. I can feel it. I can feel somebody that has a genuine love for the sport, a genuine love for the guys that he's connected with. I can feel this thing. And that would be more than just a paycheck. Hiring Sir Tom Brooks. Definitely. Sir, I had to say
You know, let me and also let me say this to Joshua and his people if they're listening. I was always taught by my grandmother that there's good, better, and best. Tommy will make you great. Right.
Wait. Good, better, or best? I'm
And
going to say
great.
it again for you, Trey, because maybe you might forget, just in case you forget. Good, better, and best. That is going in my notebook. Sorry. Again, sir. Hey, Gary,
Yeah.
write that down. Write that down on the thing so the people can see.
No, don't be right. That's my grandmother. But yeah. She always told me there's good, better, and best. I added great. Joshua may be at his best right now, but he's not great, and that's where Tommy can take him. He could take him to great, because as we stand right now talking about the heavyweights, nobody has really moved past each other too much. There's not a lot of separation between the two. I mean, between the top guys, right? Anybody could get it on any night, but Joshua has that it factor where he just hasn't come over the hump yet, and that's where Tommy Brooks would come in and make a difference. That is where he would come in and make a difference.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I truly believe that.
And I feel that Tommy also, he wouldn't step on the toes of anybody that AJ still has around him, which I feel is very important because, you know, at times these guys that are coming in, they're whispering, they're doing subliminals. They're doing subliminals to your fighter. And this is where you got to be careful who you got around you.
Because there's bare devils in this game, bro.
There he goes again. That's Spencer with that devil talk.
That's right. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, there is good, better, and best, Tunde.
Come on. Yes. Yeah, we're going to use that, Trey. I hope you haven't
That's that's an old yard saying. That's old yard saying. I'm Jamaican, man, and it's Troy, not Trey. Troy. Yeah.
Try.
Trey, I hope you haven't copyrighted it because I'm about to copyright it right now.
Yeah. Copyright. I trademarked it, all that. Yeah.
Also,
yes,
Troy,
sir,
what's the name of your show that you got? Big up your show right now for us.
Okay, well, it's the Troy Graham Experience.
Okay.
There's the Troy Graham Experience, and I'm also partnered with, you know, Major Key Boxing, you know. So yeah, the Troy Graham Experience and Major Key Boxing. And if you love music, Organic Radio. Yeah, so you get me, you get Major Key Boxing, and you get Organic Radio all in one.
Yep. So you heard that, people, were to get my guy Troy. Big up, Troy. Yeah, I mean, love. Thanks for jumping on the show. Yeah, I mean, we're 2 hours in, so we're going to be ending up in closing. But Troy, thank you very much for jumping on the show.
Thank you,
bless
Trey.
up, man. Tommy's calling me right now, so I'm going to jump off. So bless up.
Love.
Yeah, thank you very much, Trey. Appreciate it. And Lady Shan says, nah, brother. These legend head trainers, they're not working with alongside no amateur coach. Bro, that's how you got mine, though, because Shan is another real one, bro. Lady Shan, she'll just come with the thing. But yeah,
you know, Lady Shan's a bad girl. You see, she just bust up COVID. COVID chat all her. She just drink to rum and garlic and just bun it out.
Come on, hold tight, Shan. Hope you're recovering well from your bout of COVID.
She's well, man. She's all right now, man.
Yes, sir. So I think we done that, you know. Oh, the last one is Mr. Chills. So let's give him a shout out. You know, I see him helping our boys out there.
We spoke about him before. We did speak about him. We spoke about him at the top of the show. Yeah, I mean, he's done his bits right throughout on the amateurs and everything else. Worked down in Floyd's gym and stuff. Told you I met him out in Dubai. That's where he's living. When I covered for ESPN the Carl Frampton's unsuccessful challenge against Jamal Heron for the WBO super featherweight title. Nice guy. Decent trainer, knows boxing. But sometimes you got to do with resumes as well. You know what I mean? You got to do with resumes. But I like
because believe me, when you step out to that arena and there's thousands of people in there, if you ain't used to that thing there, that ain't something. You don't want to be bringing man in.
That was Zappy.
Exactly. You don't want to be bringing man in that ain't used to that thing when you're at that level of the sport.
All right.
Yeah, it's a serious thing because I mean, Anthony said it when we went to Russia. Remember, the great thing about me and Anthony and our team is that we've all grown together in this thing here. You know, I did have a couple of experiences before with Derek in the Klitschko fight, but you know, with us, we've all grown together. We've all made our mistakes together, and we've learned from them, and we're growing together. But yeah, I remember Anthony saying when we went to Russia, he was walking to the ring, and bruv, he's turning right. Roy Jones was there. It's like all these people that you grew up with, you know, and it's a big thing. You know, as they say, there's levels to this. And I've even heard Canelo say it. You know, when he fought on Floyd's undercard, for the first time, he was looking at the crowd, and he's like, bruv, I've arrived. So, you know, AJ is not no small-time fighter. AJ is the height of boxing. And so if you're going to bring in somebody, you at least want someone, you know, Lady Shan, again, she said it's Saru, and she knows even from a performance aspect of how different it is when you're performing in front of thousands of people in the arena and probably millions watching at home. It's not something that you just want to be experimenting with. At this stage of his career, I think AJ just needs to... One, as Tommy Brooks, as Spencer Fearon has said, and as I have said from the very beginning, it's the belief. Belief. I think it was David in the Bible. He had 3 stones, but the only stone he needed to beat Goliath, belief. So we need man to believe in himself first, and then everything else will fall into place, Spencer. That's how this thing works. That's how this thing works. Uzizan says, what do you guys think about Teddy Atlas? He's a good motivator, and he is very good at teaching the basics. Do you think Anthony Joshua could look towards him? Thoughts? I'll answer that first. Teddy is a good motivator, but he's also a man that can kill your spirit quickly, fam. Bro, Teddy, bro. Teddy Atlas, he can kill your spirit instant. He'll be like, your mom's watching at home, fam. Bro, your daughter at home is bawling. If you said that to me in a fight, I'll clap you on the TV set about my daughter. Bro, don't bring my daughter into this thing. You know what I'm saying? But no, I get it, and I get the way that he motivates people. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's times when a fight. I mean, again, one thing I forgot to ask Teddy was, do you think that fighters don't give enough time to build relationships with the trainers before they jump onto another one? Because I remember reading Arsene Wenger's book. He used to like, one of the things which doesn't really happen now, when new players come into the team, when he was allowed to have more control than the current managers, he would give the players time to set into the new environment. And he said that usually take about 6 months.
All right.
6 months. So that's the same with a trainer. You need a good 6 months being around this guy every day and
if he takes the rematch with Usyk, he ain't got 6 months.
He just needs a bit of juice. Hey, Tony, wait there. Bro, what do you mean? I'm born in this earth before Anthony Yard, you know? What do you mean this Tunde? Bro, bro, man can't tell me about Arsenal. I live this thing. This is one of my heroes. Spencer tried to tell me about some certain knowledge which I'm not trying to hear out today, but I don't care about all that. Bro, I don't care. It's just like saying, bro, you're not going to like Michael Jackson because of certain things what he was alleged to have done. This man is a legend.
He's a bad man.
He revolutionized football in North London and also the game of football.
he revolutionized Premiership football because from when he comes,
go and get this book, bruv.
when he came, I don't talk too much about Wenger. I'm no football man, but when he came, he was the one where they made it paramount to start importing foreign players in, and giving man the chance. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Tunde, we've done 2 hours 10 minutes. I think it's been a great show.
Bruv, stop saying AY influenced me to support her. Bruv, I'm a big man for AY. It's me that influenced AY to support us. What are you talking about? Anyway, come on.
I mean, I think we've had a fantastic show. It's been a big up my guy Troy Graham. Really, really appreciative of him getting the legendary Tommy Brooks, the man who's trained multiple world champions. We've got loads of things to cut up. You know what I mean, for people to go back and listen to. Thank you for every single person on our live, every single person that has donated, every single person that has pressed the like button.
Because the vodka and orange juice is setting in.
It's just orange juice. It's just orange juice.
The vodka and orange juice mixing with a little bit of Southern Comfort is setting in to Spencer's domain.
You know, I've never ever drank Southern Comfort in my life, you know.
Bro, it don't lie, man. You've had Brixton Comfort. Brixton Comfort. Brixton Comfort is worse than Southern Comfort.
Nah, I've never drank it in my life. But
right now,
you know
it's right now it's 11 minutes past 2 a.m. here in Dubai, and I'm as sprightly can be. But I get it. Spencer's getting old now. Rum and
You're damn right I am. Nope, I want to go. I know I'm gonna be real. I wanna cut it now because I don't think we could top what we just had, and I want to be appreciative of that. And I don't, absolutely. Right, exactly, and that's why I'm saying I just wanna cut it there.
I might say you're lean as well, so.
All right, so
all right. But listen, Spence. Yeah, I'm actually gonna agree with you. This show cannot be topped any further.
Can't be topped.
We'll just be waffling.
And you see, I've got work, son. I was thinking, Rob, what trainer can I get on? And look at that. Just by me thinking it. You see, your thought's powerful. I said, what trainer can we go get on? I said, we don't need no one. I've got a trainer. I've got Tunde on. Yeah, me and him could have chopped this up. And look, Tommy Brooks, come on the thing. I spoke to Tommy about 2 weeks ago. And we chopped it up. No, about 2 months ago, me and him spoke. Just after AJ lost. We spoke in depth. So
I like his vibe.
He's got good energy, man. He's got good energy. And you can see he's got a winner's mentality to him.
For sure.
Winner's mentality. Where he's saying, listen, I don't need to downplay no one, but you know what?
Hey! Wait. Our brother, the one, the only, Ben Odom. What a fantastic way to finish this thing.
Oh, come on, man.
Ben Odom donating £50 to the feed Spencer Fearon and Tunde Ajayi charity. But nah, Rob, it's just, listen, man, everything is a blessing. We are so appreciative because all me and Spencer are doing is really just talking about what we always talk about offline. You know,
exactly. And also, what I'm going back to watch right now. I'm going back to watch.
You know me, bro. My papers are out. You see my stories. You know, man, used to that sleeping business.
Yeah.
But Stamina for Sale, Gary, the man behind the cam, has put up back to basics, Joe. That's what Tommy Brooks said. Back to basics, Anthony Joshua. And on that note, we end the show by saying, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. Thank you so much for every single person who's on our show, every single person who's on the live, every single person that pressed like, every single person that used the super chats. God bless you and Happy New Year. Peace, 2 fingers. We are out.